Hey, this is Dave Wood, folks, talking to you actually out of my home office in Costa Rica. And real quick, I wanted to make a video as a testimonial for Chris Howard. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a different story, and I'm going to have to go back in time. Now, real quick, why should you listen to my testimonial? Well, I'm somebody that produces abnormal results in my life. And I know I don't look like a normal CEO of a company, but I am. I've got scruff on my face because I work from home. And I don't look like a normal direct sales or network marketer, but I do direct sales and network marketing. I have a team of right now over 114,000 people, and my income every single month is actually around 250,000 a month right now, and I've done that in direct sales and network marketing, and I have an organization in over 100 countries around the world. I don't do any phone calls, I work part-time, and in my organization today I have about 100 people that make a six-figure income, and I've done that in the last 15 months. Now, that's my results today. What I got to do is I got to step back in time with you to 2006 to tell you why you should buy Chris Howard's products right now. I actually ran into Chris Howard in a little bit of a different fashion. I was in Alaska and I was building a traditional network marketing business. I wasn't doing things on the internet at the time, and I was really struggling. I was actually selling a vitamin product. I don't know if you guys have ever been in direct sales before. I know this is a different market. You guys are here to get the results that you want. Look, this is the results I want. I want to tell you how I got results through this. Okay, and what happened was, as I was doing hotel meetings, my conversions and my presentations were maybe 15% in the room, and I got a phone call one night from a friend of mine named Tom, who lived in the refrigerator in the back of a store in Fairbanks, Alaska. I used to go to his house at night, which was actually a refrigerator. I'd walk into a dollar store, and I'd meet with my friend. We'd go into the back, and he had this metal gate on a refrigerator. It had dents all over the metal gate. Turn the knob, open it up, and he'd hollowed out this refrigerator. And in this refrigerator, he had his home. If you flip the lights off, it was absolutely pitch black. We used to go play video games back there at night. Well, Tom gave me a call one night. He says, "Dave, you've got to come here and get this right now." And I said, "Get what?" He says, "You'll see." And he invited me over, and I said, "What's going on, brother?" And he hit play. And I heard a guy start to talk. I listened to about 30 hours of audios in the next 5 days. And let me tell you, actually stepping into the future. Then I was struggling, maybe making $1,000 a month. Stepping into the future now, I get involved in an internet business in 2009. All of a sudden, taking some of these skills that I had learned, actually sitting in that room, taking those skills only, I was able to actually have my first week where I made more than $30,000 a week in my industry in 90 days. I actually never made less than $5,000 a week after that in my business. Now, my business is a business of communicating with people. It's a business of impacting people. It's a business of lifting people up, getting people to decide to take action, of getting people to change their beliefs, to go where they want to go. My business is a business of influence, right? So I was able to produce extraordinary results starting my business on the internet. Fast forward a few years later, taking some of these same skills, I've been able to build an organization in 15 months that now is doing right now actually we're doing somewhere between $1.5 million and $1.7 million a week in sales. I'm the CEO of a company that I founded called Empower Network, and I literally have an organization that's in multiple languages all over the world where I'm empowering people to make more money in their lives, right? Empowering people to make more money in their lives. Stepping back in time, I listened to those audio series. Now, what happened was, I remember I listened to those audios, and the next week I stepped into the same hotel room where I was doing presentations where I was struggling to be able to bring 1 or 2 people into my business. I stepped in this hotel room a new time with different knowledge and different information and different language in my mind. And when I stepped into that room, the effect of what I learned was magical. All of a sudden, everybody in the room went into a trance when I gave my presentation. All of a sudden, rather than having 15% or 20% of the room buy reluctantly, I had 80 to 90% of the room buy every time, actually since I've done that presentation for the rest of my life. All of a sudden, my results changed in an instant. How did they change? Going back to the refrigerator. What Tom put in that day was Chris Howard, master practitioner training. I'd never been exposed to the world of NLP, neuro-linguistics programming, using language on purpose. I'd always wondered why success was success. because I wondered what the secret was, and because I wondered what the difference between what I was doing and what the great performers were doing, and I had no way of gauging that information and telling what it was, I wasn't able to produce magical results in my life. What I learned in that training was I learned not what to do. I learned how to break down the process of success and reverse engineer it so I could understand what the difference was between somebody who's succeeding the way they want and somebody who isn't getting the results they want right now. And I was able to take that transformation and to create a new future. All through the power of language, through the power of what I learned in that audio course, I was able to instantaneously transform my results. And so I would encourage you, if you're serious about your future, if you're serious about personal development, and if you love your family, to just buy whatever's on this page right now. Just pull out your credit card and buy it. Look, here's what I've learned. Okay, let me actually show you something. This is actually, I'm going through this right now, this is actually a transcription that I paid for myself of that same audio course, which was a master practitioner training. I don't know if Chris sells that anymore, but I still have it. I bought this years ago. And I actually just paid the other week for this transcription. Now, I paid for the transcription. The transcription, to get this course transcribed, was about $2,200, Chris, I think is what it was. I think you'll think that's funny. You probably got a transcription laying around. But I did this because since I've listened to that course, I've become a serious student of language and personal development. And as you can see, in the last week, I'm actually going through this again. I've gone through about 240 pages of the Master Practitioner course again. Now, here's a guy in the video who's producing extraordinary results. I'm one of the most influential people in my industry. I personally have enrolled more people in network marketing without picking up the phone than anybody that I know. My income is retarded and ridiculous, and I dropped out of school. But see, I didn't drop out of school. I dropped out of the traditional school. I just replaced my school with stuff that could show me how to produce the results that I want. If you want to learn to communicate better, if you want to learn how to influence more people, if you want to learn how to have a more magical life, I would encourage you to study Chris Howard. I wouldn't encourage you to only study him. I encourage you to study many people. Okay, but this is the crux. Now, I want to tell you one more story, and then I'm done with this testimony. I know this is probably longer than you wanted, Chris, but I always like to over-deliver, right, on value. Now, here's what happened. So I got this audio course. Now, Chris, I shouldn't tell you this. This is probably bad in the testimonial video, but you guys need to buy this product right now. I called my brother, Will, and I said, Will, you have got to hear this. He says, what? And I said, you got to get this. I'm going to send you something you just got promised to listen to. He says, Dave, I'm not getting another network marketing deal. I said, it's not that, just listen to it. Just trust me, this is just nothing I've ever heard in my life. And he says, okay, I'll just shoot it down. I sent him this Master Practitioner series that Chris Howard has. Now, Chris, I know I shouldn't have done that. I think he paid for the course later, too, because we like to buy things. I like to buy things all the time. I like to invest in my future. I like to spend money. I like to invest in my education, right? And so I sent him this Master Practitioner course. Now, at the time, Will was getting acute headaches that were preventing him from doing his job. He was a pharmaceutical salesman working for Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, and he was one of the most prosperous and successful salesmen in his niche. But he's getting these pounded headaches, and he went to the doctor. The doctor said he was going to put him on like morphine medication because they were so bad. My brother said, I can't go on addictive medication. My family has a history of addiction. I won't put myself in that situation. I can't do it. And the doctor says, you'll thank me. He says, look, I'm going to tell you no thanks, so I'm going to go. He's getting pounding headaches all day and night. I sent him this practitioner course. Now, check this. I didn't actually know this story until Will was actually doing a hypnosis training for me and some of my leaders just a few months ago, and he told this story. It's the first time I'd ever heard it. He listened to this Master Practitioner training, and Chris Howard did a thing on pain control. Will was able to successfully take that concept and reduce his pain from a 10 to a 0 just using something he heard in an audio course. I was able to remove phobias in my friends. I removed a test-taking phobia. I was able to remove stage phobias. I was able to take people who weren't good speakers and make them into good speakers by showing them how to re-anchor their emotional results just from stuff I heard in an audio course, never been through any formal training. Look, if you actually have a chance to go through one of Chris's course, go through an actual course in person with him. But I'm just telling you what I learned from the audio. Will reduce his headache from 10 to 0. And he says, what's this? And he started to study and study and study. And today, he's one of the best hypnotists in the nation. Changed his career, changed his life. So from one friend, making a phone call and saying, Dave, you got to get this. You got to get this now. You got to buy it right now. Come to my house and buy this now. Change 2 people's lives for the better, impacting people around the world. How far do the ripples of your decisions go? Perhaps 5 years in the future, if you could imagine yourself being who you want to be, getting the results that you want to get, solving those problems that you want to solve. What's your life like? Who's around you? Who are the people in your life? And you think back, it's all because I was on that page that day with that weird-looking CEO guy who I still don't know what he does, with the big old sideburns that go out to here because I've been on a trip and just like the burns, telling me to take action now, and I pulled out my credit card and decided to buy. And here I am, in my beautiful future. Now just come back into this moment and step back into this moment with me. Listen to the sound of my voice. You see the background of the computer, and I don't know where you are, if you feel a little bit of a breeze, if you hear sounds going on. In a trance, aren't you? Didn't you just get a feeling, particular feeling? Isn't it fascinating how your mind's quiet right now? Isn't it interesting how everything's vanished and you're just listening to the sound of my voice? Now, how did I do that? Make a decision to buy, and you'll learn on the other side. Hey, thanks, Chris. Appreciate you, buddy.